What it do? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. How are y'all? And this is your boy, Ignite the God, otherwise known as Discombobulated Mindset, aka Tutelary Mindset. Hit the like button, you know, all that other stuff. I want to get into, you know, some theories that I have. Everybody else shoots out their theories and whatnot, so I'm gonna, you know, give mine. Also, today I want to talk about, you know, well, as usual, the black community and some of the things that I find we need to like kind of change a little bit. First off, I want to get into Oprah Winfrey and Umar Johnson. They're building these schools, right? And see, me, at one point I thought this was a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, my only problem was they are not building these schools here in America where it's needed. You know what I'm saying? The best, the most. They're building these schools in Africa and whatnot. So, you know, I investigated into this because I'm like, why would they? I don't understand why they would, like, you know what I'm saying? They talk about what we need to do, and like, I would consider that they're talking about us here, you know? So the fact that they would build a school in Africa, it's fucking me up. It like just discombobulated me. I didn't understand it. And so I dig deep and deep and deep. And sometimes I get to places to where like the truth a lot of times will not be written. It's the media hides the truth a lot of times. And, you know, Oprah is, you know, she's a media mogul. So a lot of times, you know, the truth will be covered, you know what I'm saying, to benefit her. I read this story where there was, hold on, let me find the story real quick. But it was a story that had to do with Oprah. There was a little girl, there was a baby, I'm sorry, there was a baby that was found, a dead baby that was found in the school, you know what I'm saying? So I was wondering, I was like, well, damn, they found a dead baby at the school, what's that about, right? And then they found the little girl and whatnot. Hold on, let me, I'm gonna find this. It's, but, okay, so, hold on, I'm gonna find this mug, right? Baby found it was like a baby that was found dead, maybe. All right, dead baby found in bag of student from Oprah school. And this was like 2011, this is when the story came out. A dead baby found in the bag of a student from Oprah school, Academy for Girls in Johannesburg, according to South African authorities. Now, you're gonna have to read into the story yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about what these folks write. But the conclusions that you come to should be your own, like what I'm about to give you. You see, I believe that the reason why people like Oprah, Umar Johnson, and anybody else who decides to build a school to educate us, but then they take it to some other country, you know what I'm saying? Why would they bring it to a third world country? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they educate the people here so you'll have more people to raise the status of these third world countries? You see what I'm saying? That would be my approach. But I've come to the conclusion that people like them, what they're doing is they're not working for the black community. They're not working for our interests. They're working for their own interests. This is about money. Umar Johnson, Oprah Winfrey, these people siphon money from the people under the guise of education. And then they talk about, like, you know, and this is where they, you know, this is why they use these terms like African American, because then when they go say, I'm gonna build a school in Africa and this, that, and the other, then you're like, oh yeah, because that's for Africans. You thinking you African, you ain't. You know what I'm saying? So they build these schools though in these third world countries because there's really no news. There's really no, you know, the internet, believe it or not, it is not connected like that. Like a lot of places in those third world countries, they don't have like computers and internets and shit like that, media just flying in and out. A lot of the information we get from these third world countries comes from our own media sources, which, as we all know, lie like a motherfucker. So I believe that baby was found in that school because that school was built for pedophiles. So is Umar Johnson's school for boys. It's to make boys gay. You know what I'm saying? He talk a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, he believes in that pharaonic shit. You know what I'm saying? That Egyptian, that Greco-Egyptian pharaonic shit where, you know what I'm saying, these alpha men, like what they do is they fuck boys. You know what I'm saying? They'll keep a woman around for like procreation, but for the most part, they are phallus worshipers. They get on their knees, you know what I'm saying, and pray to a dick. This is just real. You say what you want to. Everybody in Hollywood is some type of homosexual or low self-esteem having motherfucker who was basically willing to do anything, you know what I'm saying, to appease the master or, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm gonna take you guys back real quick. So please try to, you know what I'm saying, just keep up. Back in the day, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna take this back to the times of slavery and the Harlem Renaissance and whatnot, right? Back in the day, when the Underground Railroad was a thing and, you know, black folks were helping free other black folks to escape to the north, right? What you have to know is that it was not the strongest of us escaping and fleeing slavery. The most strongest and the most virile and built of us stayed, and we helped facilitate the move. You see what I'm saying? Our best and our brightest and our strongest remained in the South. We ushered the young, the children, women, and pretty much weak folks. And I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, but I am in a sense, because this is just the truth. You see what I'm saying? Strong people did not stay. Strong people helped facilitate the move from the South to the North for the ones who were not strong enough to handle the heat that was going on down there in the South. This is just the truth. So the Harlem Renaissance and all those folks that go up to New York, and those folks that's up in New York, they love to call it, and they love to say that us, we cotton picker, we weak, we this, we that. But the truth is, the people down here sent them up there. Now, the fact that they were young, they were, detached from their families and the people that they love, they ended up being adopted by a lot of these white folks. Because at the end of the day, it was easier. They weren't getting their ass beat and all that, but they still had to go through this hate. So in order to make money and whatnot, like they were licking the boots of these white folks. And when them white folks exalted them and raised them, you know what I'm saying, they got too big for their britches, and they assumed that the folks in the South were weak because we stayed. And because they had knowledge from, these white folks, they figured that they knew better than us. A lot of times what happens is, well, let me tell you what happened. When we sent those folks, our brothers and sisters, from the South to the North, the people up North, they broke these cats all the way down, and they rebuilt them in their own image. This is real. And so a lot of people from New York and that whole Harlem Renaissance and all of that, it seems as though they gave us something good, but that's the media. They frame things in a certain way. But if you do your research into it, the biggest coons, the biggest sellouts, they come from New York. They come from New York. These are the house niggas of America. All of them. They're all sellouts. Every one of them. And so Umar Johnson, who came under Sonetta, and Oprah Winfrey, who came under, what's his name, Harvey Weinstein. These folks facilitate the fuckery. You built a school way out in South Africa and shit for little girls to come there, and this was to corrupt them. You see, that should have come out here. In America, them nothing say secret. Niggas is crazy out here, so we gonna blast that shit. You know what I'm saying? We gonna figure it out, we gonna blast it. But over there, ain't no, you can really control the narrative from a place that does not have big time media sources and stuff like that. It's very simple to do like that. So this is why they're building these schools in Africa. I would suggest that you do not give your money to these people at all. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who is talking about we need to do this, that, and the other, but then they're always making their focal point Africa. You know what I'm saying? These people are not good. They are not, their intentions are not pure. You see what I'm saying? I think that a lot of them are trying to get us to escape or run from here so it'll make us easy pickings when we get over there. The media is not the same out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times they show you all this bullshit and all the things that are happening over there. So I gotta go and save my people, and them ain't none of your people. You see what I'm saying? So you get out there, and now you're, you know what I'm saying, stuck. This is happening on a wide scale. I hated that I jumped all around here, but that was my main focus right here, was Umar Johnson and Oprah Winfrey and these schools that they build outside of this country, away from us. You know what I'm saying? Outside of, you know what I'm saying, prying eyes and listening ears. This is why they do it over there. This is why that baby was found in Oprah school and shit, because they were fucking these kids. And, one of them got pregnant. This is a brothel, believe it or not. That's a brothel that they made out there. You know what I'm saying? And Umar Johnson, he's trying to get folks to give him money to build a school in Africa for boys. And as per usual, it'll be approved by Bill Clinton and all them other motherfuckers who are into that pedophilia shit. Truth is, and I mean this, that Greco-Egyptian society, they built homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? Homosexuality and the like, it comes from there. That's why when I look at Umar Johnson and him talking about that, I believe him to be gay. You know what I'm saying? I believe him to be a gay dude. One of those alpha men who come from these fraternities and shit like that. They're those down low brothers and shit. This is why he has such a fucking problem with gay people. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why they talk about the effemination of the divine masculine and shit like that. Because what you have to understand is, to them, to these people, these like Alpha Phi Alphas, any of these like Black Greek fraternities and all of these people like that, what you have to understand is they have a different understanding of gay. And they believe that as long as they have that warlike mentality and they, you know, they built like a man, they act like a man, like, well, basically ignorant and stupid, then that makes them not gay. The fact that they have a wife and they have children, this nullifies their homosexuality. This is what they say a lot of times. And then, you know, like this, you just got to read into like a lot of these like rituals that these folks get into, is a sex magic and shit like that. But like I said, a lot of these folks don't believe that they're gay. I remember I was locked up in the penitentiary in Mississippi, and a cat told me that he's not gay, he's just prison gay. And I said, what the fuck is that? What the fuck that mean, man? And so he said, no, man, you know, because when I'm out in the street, man, like it's, you know, like, you know, I just need that nut, man. Like, you know, this is crazy shit, dude. That's gay, man. Like that's a homosexual act. It makes you homosexual, you know. But I don't know the rules of homosexuality. Folks will tell you something different all the time, especially with this gender fluidity bullshit. And this is just them throwing the mask on it, man. Like a lot of these folks, man, they give you like these ideas that are like reframed and I don't want to get into it without like actually setting up something to where I can give you guys a visual and whatnot. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. But if you guys got any questions about how I came to these conclusions, oh, feel free. Put it in the comments, because, yeah, I do not mind. You know what I'm saying? I do not mind discussing these things. You know what I'm saying? I question everything, and I'm open to, you know, about anybody else's interpretations of the things that are actually happening out here. Like, you know, I'm open to you guys' interpretation of the news and whatnot and what the things that they report. But I do have my own opinions. You know what I'm saying? I like to read between the lines. I don't take what they tell me at face value and count it as a fact. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to be clear here. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people who are asking you for money and asking you to follow their trend or support their ideas, and these ideas cannot be substantiated right here before your eyes. They're happening somewhere across the world and stuff like that. I would not investigate. And I mean, I would not invest in that. I would investigate it. You see what I'm saying? Do not invest your money and your time into things that are happening way across the world when there are several problems right before your eyes. You know what I'm saying? The Bible, and I am not a Bible thumper, but I am a former Christian. But the Bible says that the Lord writes its rules on fleshly tablets, meaning the tablet of your heart is the flesh. You don't need a building. You don't need a church or any of that to, you know, give reverence to a higher power. You don't need a building, a school, a church, a synagogue, or anything to educate the minds of men or women. You see what I'm saying? This is not a real thing. And when they're asking you to help build these schools and this, that, and the other, this creates exclusivity. You know what I'm saying? They build one school. I think Oprah school has room for like 322 people. You know what I'm saying? So you come up with more money to put your daughter or your child in these schools, because you have to enroll and all of this, just like any other school, and you pay basically for your child to go overseas and get educated by these people. But the truth is, they turn them into sex slaves. That is what the truth is to this. You know what I'm saying? We have to stop looking to the sky, across the sea, to somebody else, to our government, to NASA, to, you know what I'm saying, like, fix our problems. A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, people like, especially like Umar Johnson and a lot of the leaders of the black community, they love to diagnose the problem, but they don't have any solutions. Now, of course, you know what I'm saying, if you're one of those people that are questioning me right now, talking about, you know, well, you coming up with diagnosis, you don't have no solutions. I'm not a fucking doctor. I wasn't educated at all. You know what I'm saying? I see problems, and I know what I can do about it, and I do those things. But I don't know what we can do about it personally. Like, you know, I don't know what we can do about it as a conscious whole, as a collective. I just know I have to walk, my talk. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait on we as a people to change or to be active about our problems. You see, and these people have money, a huge platform, and then we give them more money to take overseas. And like, how can you see the receipts? You know what I'm saying? How do you see the receipt? Like, these folks can show you any building over there, man. And like, you know, camera tricks, the school of Umar Johnson, you just see some shit. They can build a set, really, to just fool you. So if they're not building schools here, in our fucking country, here, then I would not invest in that. The only thing you should do is investigate it, you know. So another little topic I want to get into real quick is about voting. Voting is not what we think it is. we are not exercising our choice of leaders. It has nothing to do with that. I be telling people this all the time, but it doesn't resonate. So I'm going to pull up the etymology of the word vote. And right now I can just tell you that the etymology of the word vote goes to the word vow off top. But let me read this for you. All right. Vote, as a noun, is a formal expression of one's wish or choice with regard to a proposal or a candidate, etc. However, then you see that was the definition. This is how we define, as a people, this is how we define the word vote. But the word vote comes from the Latin votum, V-O-T-U-M, which is a vow, a wish, a promise to God, a solemn pledge, and a dedication. Now, what is a vow? They say that to vote is a vow. It is a wish, a promise to a God, a promise to a God. So when you go to vote, you are promising this God, or you are adhering to this God, meaning you are going to abide by his rule. To vote is to give consent. It is to pledge your allegiance. You see what I'm saying? It is to dedicate, and a dedication is basically a consecration of a deity, a God. You see what I'm saying? Go to the word vow. If we look up the word vow, or the etymology of the word vow, which comes from the word votum, I gotta make this clear. You know what I'm saying? It goes to a vow, of course, a promise to a God, a solemn pledge, a dedication, that which is promised, a wish, a desire, a longing, a prayer. A vote is not you exercising a choice. To vote is to pledge your life, your emotion, your mind, your heart, your soul to a deified person, or a person who has deified themselves. A vote is the choice to relinquish your power to someone else, for them to have authority over you. And I won't get too much more into this, because a lot of times I feel like I'm wasting my breath. And so, like, of course I do the repetitive thing and try to make it stick, but a lot of this has to do with you. You have to investigate these things yourselves. Invest in yourself. These journeys, this walk of life that we're experiencing, it is ours. And we come with all of the power that we need to walk through this life. And a lot of times, most of the times, we are relinquishing our power to others whom we deem are looking out for us. I'm here to let you know that you are no longer a child. You are no longer a kid. You have to take responsibility. You have to be accountable for your thoughts, for your actions, for your emotions. You have to, stop being a victim and saying, these people are keeping me from this, or those people are keeping me from this, and I can't be this or that because of this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? You have to take responsibility for your own life. Stop being a victim. You know what I'm saying? So that is my video today. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Of course I can't, I'll go into further detail with anyone on a personal level. You can get at me at my email, and it's handmadehustler@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? And this, handmade, HANDMADE, hustler, as just like you spell it, handmadehustler@gmail.com. So get at your boy if you have any questions and all of that, because a lot of the things that I feel and I know to be a fact, they're intuitive. They come, it comes from transmissions from the source. So I can explain it, but there are no